It's Houston Dynamo versus Toronto FC Wednesday night live on TSN as well as Sportsnet, The Fan 590 on radio. And this is the man that'll be the voice of Toronto FC on the air. Now this is, we've done this a couple of times today. We want to talk about the opposition, Houston Dynamo. We went over to the new BBVA Compass Stadium, which was about as windy as you could possibly imagine today because there's some thunderstorms rolling in. So we've done this a couple of times now, but I think we're now finally going to get the sound right.
Well, and now you've mentioned we need to have this conversation, and we do need to set up the Houston Dynamo, the opposition for Toronto on Wednesday night. But now I've slightly dressed down for the occasion because I'm on my way out the door, and I've got my rock and roll guitar t-shirt on here. It's a Fender t-shirt, I don't mind saying that. But tonight, the original band makeup of the Cult is in town at the House of Blues, which a lot of people know very well. And I'm headed
for anybody under the age of 45, do you want to just... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, She Sells Sanctuary, Firewoman, there's so many. It's a great band. Ian Asbury, the original lead singer, is with the band again, and they sound great. I saw them at the Docks a few years ago in Toronto, and when I heard they were here in Houston, I thought, well, I have to go see the show tonight.
All right, well, that's your pregame plan, but let's get to the match itself then. Houston, big, tough opposition here at home in Houston at the new stadium. They've won 3 and drawn 1 game, and they just on June 18th celebrated their 1-year anniversary from the last time they lost a home game here on home soil. What is it that makes them so tough to beat here in Texas?
There's no doubt it's the coach. You know, it's the attitude that permeates from him down through to his players and the entire team. And he has a lot of leaders on his club too, I think, Asif, and that helps a lot. But there's no doubt that Dominic Kinnear is a guy that's well respected around the league. He's respected by the players who play for him. His success is a benchmark that players try to live up to, quite frankly. They know how much success he's had with many players under his wing. And now when you get under the wing of a coach like that, you want to help him continue that success because you know he's preaching the right things and you want to fit into his mold. And you know, he's got a team that's kind of built for Dominic Kinnear, and I remember working with Mike Tashan, the former goaltender coach here in Toronto, now with Portland, and he was a coach under Dominic, and he just used to rave about how he handles his players, how he prepares his teams for competition. So, you know, that's a big reason why Houston's been so successful.
And Paul Mariner, Toronto's head coach, couldn't find enough good things to say about Dominic Kinnear. He has a lot of respect for him, and we heard that today in training. And he also highlighted a few of Houston's key players. You want to talk a little bit about these guys? Well,
that's a good point. Respect is a key word when you talk about playing a team like Houston, and you look at Brad Davis and Ching and other guys on that team that are very lethal. Will Bruin, another one. When you have Ching and Bruin up top, and then a really good midfield, and obviously coming from the back line through the midfield, it's just a complete team, and that's something that Dominic is to be given credit for, how he's put this club together. But today at training, because of that respect factor, basically what the guys are working on, A, is communication, and the other thing Paul Mariner wants to do is make sure that you limit the set pieces you provide to the Houston Dynamo, because if you do and you let Davis get that left foot into play and start setting things up, you're in a bit of trouble. So, you know, that was the focus at practice today, but I was more so impressed, you know, what Toronto FC did at training the day before the game was focusing on what Houston does well and then communicating to make sure you counter that. And I think a lot of these players right now need that, and it's very important for them going forward and understanding their competition, who they're facing. And Paul Mariner really drove that home today, that if you want a chance to beat Houston, quite frankly, you have to make sure you eliminate where Davis can put the ball, and you have to make sure you keep an eye on the likes of Bruin and Ching up front. So it's Houston versus Toronto, live from the brand new BBVA Compass Stadium. Toronto FC looking to become the first. You don't like the orange of the stadium?
I don't like the orange outside the stadium, really. It's a big orange wall, and I'm not a big fan of it.
It's probably going to be orange inside the stadium,
It probably will be.
So you're not going to enjoy it at all?
I'll have to deal with that. I'll enjoy it if Toronto gets the 3 points. The match is on TSN, as I said earlier, and also on Sportsnet, The Fan 590, with this man right here, Dan Dunleavy. On Twitter, as always, follow @TorontoFC, and the Twitter chat, #TFC Live. We'll see you soon.